of the parent function. A vertical stretch does actually change sort of the shape of the function of the parabola by either making it look more narrow or wider, and it doesn't change the fact that the parabola is still a U shape. It simply changes how wide or narrow the U is. The last major transformation that occurs for a parabola from the parent function is a reflection. And a reflection occurs when the parent function is reflected or flipped over a line. And in our case, that reflection always occurs over a line that is horizontal. Parabolas also have various important features. So there's the parent function or mother function, and then there are these transformations that move that parabola left, right, up, down, make it wider, make it narrower. But regardless of where the parabola is sitting or how wide or narrow it is, it has some key features. One of these features is the vertex. The vertex is the lowest or highest point on the parabola. Because parabolas are U-shaped, it means they always have a top or a bottom. And so the vertex is the name we give to that top or bottom. And if we look back at the previous page, this shaped parabola has a bottom, and this shaped parabola has a top. All parabolas, being U-shaped, have a line of symmetry. The line of symmetry is the line that reflects the parabola back onto itself. So if I look back at this original picture on the front, my line of reflection is, in this case they give us the parabola is symmetric along the y-axis, but it doesn't have to be. So this line right here is where the lines of reflection are for these two different parabolas. So if I folded my paper in half along this highlighted line, this parabola would end up on itself. So that's what the line of reflection does. Maximum and minimum go back to the vertex with one small caveat, which is that the maximum value is the highest value on the parabola. And I want you to note that the value and highest means that this is the y-coordinate of the vertex. Similarly, the minimum is also the y-coordinate of the vertex, but it occurs when it is the lowest value on the parabola. Again, meaning the y-coordinate of the vertex. Now, one of the other pieces of information that you have covered at this point in the module is what each of the letters in the standard form of, the vertex form of parabolas represent. Each of these letters actually represent the information we talked about in the first page of our notes, which are the transformations. So each of these letters represent either a vertical, horizontal shift, a dilation, a stretching, or a reflection. So the H represents that the parabola has moved H units left or right, meaning the horizontal shift. It also means that it is the x coordinate of the vertex. So it plays several different roles. The K tells us how much the function was moved, K units, up or down. So this is our vertical shift, which means it is the y coordinate of the vertex. Which means I now can say that the vertex, oops, I actually don't want to fill in that particular space because there's a lot of information that the A gives us. So let's actually write that the fact that the vertex is the point H, comma, K. So now the A. The A actually plays the role both of the vertical stretch or dilation and whether or not the parabola has been reflected. So the A has, so I need to kind of go through a whole bunch of possibilities for the A. So when the A, so this is our vertical stretch and reflection. And now I need to talk about the various values A can be. A could be negative. Whenever A equals a negative number, that means that my parabola has been reflected. Meaning it now is no longer a right side up U, it is an upside down U. I then have some options about whether or not A is a number that is bigger than 1, smaller than 1, bigger than -1, smaller than -1. So for lack of a better word, we often talk about A either being between the values of -1 and 1, which many students sort of think about as the fractions. Obviously, any number can be written as a fraction, and so these are the numbers that are fractions that don't have a whole piece to them, a whole number piece. When A is between -1 and 1, this makes our function wider in appearance. So our U shape, instead of looking skinny, actually starts to look fatter and fatter. So then the other option is when A is less than -1, or A is greater than 1. And when A is less than -1 or greater than -1, it actually causes our parabola to look narrower, get skinnier. And those are sort of the general things that the A does for us. Now, let's actually do an example with all of this, because this is a lot of information that I can get from my parabola. So we're going to look at one example here where we are given the graph of a parabola, and we're asked to identify the vertex, whether or not it is a maximum or minimum value, and what is it, the line of symmetry, which can also be called the axis of symmetry, sorry, a little typo there, or axis of symmetry, the vertical shift, and
Okay, guys, I'm going to pause it right there. I think that's enough. If you want to go back and watch these later, I'll show you where to find them. But our attention spans are really only so long, and I want to make sure I don't lose you during the task today. So let's go there now, and then I'll show you where those videos are if you do want to go back. Okay. So 2.2 task. Open that up if you haven't already. I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. And then we will get going. At the end, remember, you're going to have a chance. I'm going to give you 2 problems, but you only have to do one of them at the end to show proficiency for the day. Okay. Now I know it's the end of the day, but you got to listen really well in order to get it today. Okay. Because I think second period, there were only probably 5 of them that got it, which means that we need to do a lot of review. But let's see if we can get some more in here today. All right, you guys should be able to do it, I think. Okay, just listen real close, just to see that I have you still. You haven't wandered away. Hit the green button if you have 2.2 open in front of you. Transformers. If you got Transformers open, hit it. All right. Okay, so that video that I showed you, it is the first. I think it's the first one here. Yeah, it's oh no, that was on 2.1. These are 2 different videos that maybe I'll show later, but again, I can only show so many videos. So these are also really helpful, especially with like A and stuff. We'll watch them later, or at least watch one of them later. But if you want to rewatch the one that I just showed you, you got to go back to the 2.1 formative. Okay. All right. And then here's some notes. This is everything she talked about. Okay. H and K and moving the parabola around and so on and so forth. All right, now we get down to the task. All right, I'm going to skip around a little bit here. Eventually, I'm going to learn how to delete questions. But right now, when I delete a question, it just messes up the numbering and everyone gets confused. So I don't want to do 1. Okay, so let's skip on down to number 2. Okay, where we are going to enter an equation. Okay, 2. 2 says, write the equation for this quadratic. The area of a square with the side length x, where the side length is decreased by 3, the area is multiplied by 2, and then 4 square units are added to the area. Okay, I told second period to just do this and nobody got it. They're like, what are they even talking about? Okay, just hold on. So it's important to remember that with these quadratics is their area. So remember the last test we had with those pink blocks that I drew, and you guys got like the base length x times like x plus 3. Okay, that's like an area, and that area is quadratic. All right, so it gets more and more complicated. So you have a square, the side length is x, but it's not exactly x. Some things have happened to it. Okay, so the first thing is it's going to be, we have 3 numbers. We have 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and you have to plug them into this equation for A, H, and K. That's it. Okay, so if x is decreased by 3, do you think that 3 is A, H, or K? Go ahead and type your guess. Type your guess into the chat. If a side length is decreased by 3, is it A, H, or K? Okay, I see A and H being guessed. Okay, well, see how decreased by 3, it kind of matches up with minus H. Okay, so that is going to be the side length decreased by 3. So when we type that in here, we're going to go x minus 3. So go ahead and write that in. That is the side length decreased by 3. Okay, now we only have to worry about 2 and 4. The next one says the area is multiplied by 2. Do you guys think that 2 is A or K? A is the multiplier on the outside, yeah. So I'm going to go 2. Let me do that yeah, 2 on the outside. So I'm going to go parentheses, keeps bringing up my keyboard. Sorry about that. Parentheses on each side. And then on the outside is a 2. Okay. Now I'm leaving a couple things out. We need to keep adding to this, all right? And then it says, and then 4 square units are added to the area. What do you think 4 is? There's only one thing left it can be, and that's K. Now, the way I have my answer written here, there's 2 problems with it, okay? You get partial credit, you know where the 2, the 3, and the 4 go. What am I missing? Type it in the chat. What am I missing here? Oh, you guys got them both. Joe said you're missing squared. If you graph this right here, it makes a line. Okay, again, we're not doing lines anymore. So this is squared on the outside. So that is squared. Nice. And then someone else wrote the other thing that was wrong is that they're telling us to call this A of X because it's area. So on the outside, I'm going to type A of X equals, boom. There it is, okay? All right, now that's it for number 2. Any questions on 2? Okay, let's go on to 3. For 3, it says fill out the table and write the equation. Okay, just open it up. It's all on one thing here, okay? You don't need to worry about flipping back and forth. Okay, for this one, okay, let's read that paragraph on the side together. It says find A by looking at the graph. Find the vertex. Go over 1 to the right or left. Okay, hold on. Let's find the vertex, okay? I'm gonna put a dot there if you know where it is. So this is, we didn't use this word vertex yesterday, okay? She said it in the video. The vertex is the bottom part of the parabola, okay? And unless it opens this way, then it's like the top part, okay? Vertex. Okay, now it says, now that we found the vertex, it says go over 1 to the right or to the left, doesn't matter, and count how many units up or down until it hits the parabola. So I'm gonna go 1 over, either way, because it's the same, and then I'm gonna go up until I hit the parabola, okay? Over 1 and up 2, so A is 2. So we didn't do it. Yeah, just make sure you're on this one right now. Again, the numbering gets a little weird. Okay, number 1 we didn't do. Yeah. Okay, so A is 2. So if you want to know what A is, it's a little more complicated. But for now, you just go to the vertex and you go over 1 and then up until you hit the parabola. Now, if it's facing down, you go over 1 and then down. And if this was like 4, A would be like -4, okay? But in this case, it's 2, all right? And we'll talk a whole bunch more about A tomorrow, okay? All right, so now they want us to make this a table, okay? Write in the chat what you think the coordinates of the vertex are. In other words, where on the graph is this point? How many over and how many down? It is, Jeffrey, I'm glad you wrote that because a lot of people would do that. That'd be 1 left, 3 up. Yeah. You have the right numbers, just in the wrong order. So 3, -1. So it'd be 3 right, 1 down. So go ahead and put that right here where it says vertex. So I didn't put the vertex in the top of the table, because if I do and I fill out my table, it would just show like the right half of it, okay? So you always want the vertex like kind of in the middle of the table and then fill in the numbers around it. And then you just have to say what those numbers are. So let's start with 1 question mark. What do you think I'm going to write for when x is 1? What's y? When I go over 1, how many up do I go until I hit the parabola? That's a good question, Megan. Why is it x and y and not x and f of x? Because right now there's so much new stuff flying at you. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible and then add things like that once we have a better handle on it, okay? All right, so we go 1 over, let's see, 1 over and 7. I got 7. You guys get 7? I got 7. Yeah? Okay, I'm seeing both, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 7. So let me erase my question mark. And then what goes in for 2? 2 is 7, 2, 2 over and 1 up. So again, for those of you guys that haven't got it, 2 over and 1 up. It's that point. And then we have the vertex. And then we have the next one, which is 4 over and 1 up. And then 5 over and 7 up. And you can see we get this kind of mirroring thing going on. Like it's 7 on both sides. It's 1 on both sides with the vertex in the middle. Okay. All right. That's just kind of how you put it into a table. Now, when it comes time today to do your proficiency problem, you're going to be given, this is kind of what you have to do. So like, what's the equation? Okay. This is kind of what you got to be able to do today. You'll be doing it the other way. You'll be given the equation and you'll have to do the graph. But okay, we got the graph. So I'm going to have f of x or y. I know we just talked about that. Is equal to x minus something squared plus something. Oh, and there's an a value, right? So I'm going to need to leave room for the a. So hold on. So I got f of x or y. There's going to be an a value, okay? All right, now all you have to do is decide like what goes on the blank. Well, we figured out what a was, right? What did we decide a was? 1 over and how many up? Yeah, 2. 2. Okay. Now, how many, like remember it started in the middle, right? It started here. How many to the right did it go? How many? It's getting a little jumbled there. How many to the right from the middle? How many to the right did the vertex go? It went to the right 3, and Cameron knows that that's x minus 3, which is good, okay? But yeah, this is a 3, and it's minus because it moved to the right. And then how many up or down? It went right 3, and then down 1. So plus -1, or I would just do like -1, okay? So this is kind of what you got to know today. All right, out of curiosity, how many people understand what I have circled there? Go ahead and hit the green button. If you don't, feel free to fire a question into the chat there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why does a negative multiplier make it go right? Or not multiplier, but a negative h value make it go right, but then a positive one makes it go left?
Okay. Great question. Would you, this is the vertex, right? Right here? Okay. So with that, with it being like +3, okay? Actually, I want to confuse you. For now, can you just memorize the rule and we can go over that in like 3 days? We'll get to that, why it's opposite.
Okay.
For now, just remember what's in those parentheses. Minus is right. It's just the opposite of what you would think. Okay, plus is left. And we'll get to the y on Friday, okay? Why don't we keep the x minus 1 each time? Okay, so x minus 1 is recursive formula, right? Like we've kind of gotten out of that now and we're into like something new. There may be an x minus 1 every now and then. If I'm moving a parabola 1 to the right, there'll be an x minus 1 in there, okay? Could I explain each part? Absolutely, okay. So first of all, before I start writing anything down, I want to ask myself, where did it move? Okay. And you might take this when you do the problem. All right. You might be like, all right, where did it go? So I know that it started here. Okay. And then how did it get from there to where it is? It went right 3. It went down 1. So right 3 is x minus 3 and down 1 is minus 1. That's where the big parts of it came. Now, also, it got more narrow. So we're like, it doesn't go 1 over and 1 up. If it did, it would be the same. It went 1 over and 2 up. So that's why I have to put a 2 in front of it. I know it's a lot, and we're going to practice, okay? But hopefully that helped. All right, I see some people put red checks. That's fine. Okay, we're going to keep going, guys. We'll get there. Okay, let's check out of this one. And let's go to, do I like this question? Right. Oh, that's what we just did. So no, we don't have to do 4. For 5, hey, if you're like an all-star at this and you want to come back and do 5, it's doing it from a table without a graph. And we don't need to add another skill right now. Okay, so you can try that if you really, really get it. But let's just practice the graph for now, and we'll come back to that skill later. I also don't like 6. So we're skipping down to 7. Okay. So for 7, we have to go from the graph to the table again, right? So our graph is this. All right. Try to put that in now on your own. I'll give you like 1 minute and then we'll do it together. I want to see if anyone gets it. If not, you know you're not going to get it. Just take a break for a minute. Okay. But hey, try it. See if any of you guys can get number 7. Seven's really, really tough. The one that you have for proficiency today isn't as tough as 7. Simon, I got what you wrote. Check your A value. Close. It's facing downward, right? Yeah, Megan, I'm pulling up everybody's right now. Yep, Simon. Yes. Wow. Good job, you guys. Dang, I can usually predict how kids are. Maybe it's because you're not in the classroom in front of me and I can't tell how you're doing. But if you didn't get it, you at least got close. Dang, nice job. Okay, all right. So let's take this through the steps because it looks like most of us are done. If you were going to try it, you tried it. Okay, so I know that it started here, right? And I asked myself, where did it go? Okay, so it went left 3, up 4. So I start building this thing, right? So I'm like, f of x is equal to, I don't know right now for a, so I'm just going to leave it. And then I'm going to go x. Okay, it went left 3. So is that plus 3 or minus 3? Type it or say it. Plus 3. It's opposite. Okay. And then it went up 4. So a lot of people got that far. That's awesome. Okay. And oh, let me count here. Okay, of the people that did it, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 5 out of about 20 made this mistake right here. I meant to leave that out and ask you what was missing. Remember, with quadratics, it's always squared. Okay, it's always squared because it's like a base times height thing. Okay, you're finding the area of something. So if you didn't put squared in there on your answer, like a lot of you guys had the exact right answer, you just didn't put the squared thing. Okay. Now, can someone talk about or type how they got A right? A lot of you guys got A right. How did you get it? No one wants to share? Yep. Read what Simon wrote. How did you find the number for the formula without making a table? Okay, I'll answer that question. Let's talk about A first, and then I'm gonna answer a really good question. So Simon said 1 over and a half down. So you start here and you go over 1, right? And then you got to go down until you meet the parabola. And how many down did we go? Not even a full block. We went 1/2 down. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us put this, which I'd almost give you 4 if you did that, but like, why is that wrong? The parabola is facing down, right? Negative 1/2. If you put negative 0.5, that's fine, but a fraction is more typical. Okay, I want to answer a really good question here. How do you find the number for the formula without the table? Okay, so what I do first, like my whole process with this was starting in the middle, and then I ask myself, where do I need to move that red dot to get it to the vertex? Okay, how do I go from red dot 1 to red dot 2? I had to go left 3 and up 4. So I wrote that right here. Left 3, up 4. So I know my left 3 is right here as opposite, right? X plus 3 plus 4. And that's how we did it without having to make the table every time. Okay. Really good job, guys. I think I'm going to get a lot of people passing this today. And if you don't, stay after. I'm going to help you out. We'll get you so you can do it. Okay. Really awesome, though. Relieving a lot of my stress. I thought I was going to have to make like a ton more videos or something so people get it. But I'll still make some videos. You'll be okay if you don't. There's still don't if you don't get it, you're not alone. Okay. I don't feel like you're the only one. Okay. There's still people that don't, and that's fine. It's hard. All right. Let's go to. No. Okay, now we're on to the ones that you're going to do for proficiency today. Okay. So what we got to do is we got to graph 10 and 11. All right. Now you don't have to do 11. All right. If you're really confident on 10, don't do 11. But if you're like, I don't know, maybe I got 10, I'll just do 11 too. If you get one or the other, you're good. You're gonna get your 3, okay? Now I wanna do 9 though, just as one more example, because we really haven't gone from equation to graph. We've gone from graph to equation. So maybe watch this. I didn't do this with second period. Maybe that's why they didn't do so well, okay? But I'm gonna do 9, okay, which is this one. All right. So I'm going to start in the middle. So when you do your problem today, start in the middle. Okay. Now I just have to ask myself, where is that sending me? I'm going to rewrite this. Okay. F of x equals negative x squared plus 3. Where's the plus 3 sending me? Actually, I'll go over the negative 1/2 again right after this. Okay. It's sending me up 3. Now, a lot of people would say, wait, that's next to the x. I thought that would send me to the left. This is the same thing as, let me rewrite it, as x minus 0 squared plus 3. Okay, mathematicians are just lazy though, and they don't want to write the minus 0. Okay, so this isn't going anywhere side to side. It's just going up 3. So it moves to here. Okay. Now, what about, oh, there's a negative in front of there. And on your problem today, this is another reason why they missed it all. Well, they didn't all miss it, but a lot of them did. If there is a negative here, what's really in front of there? It's not 0. What's really in front of there? If there's nothing in front of the parentheses, there is a 1. Okay. So what does that negative 1 tell me to do? I got to go 1 over, and then I got to do what A says. A tells me to go down 1. Okay. On both sides. And then for today, you will get full credit if you just connect those dots with a parabola. Okay. But in the future, you're going to have to do a little bit more than that. Okay. Some of you guys are ready for that. So if you don't get this, that's okay. Where would my next dot go? If I go 1 and 1, I would go 2 over, and how many more down? Tough question. I don't want to lose people here. But remember, x squared goes 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, like that. Okay, 1, 1. I'd go 2, 4, 3, 9. Now we're going to talk more about that later. Don't worry about that. Just get those 3 dots and connect them for now, okay? But yeah, if A is 1, it's 2, 4. If A is 2, it's 1, 2, 2, 8, 3, 18. I double all those numbers. Don't worry about that. Some of you will get that right away, and some of us won't. A just multiplies those numbers. Really good job today, guys. So now try 10, and then let me just tell you what the homework is, and you can peace out as soon as you're done with 10, okay? So 10, or I'm sorry, the homework is the Mario thing, okay? So much more fun than the RSG. So for the Mario thing, I'll pull it up on the screen as you're like doing your problem or whatever, but it's going to be a little confusing. But see this where I have on, you can see my screen, right? On Canvas where it says how to do Mario, I did like a 5-minute video that will show you how to do them all. Okay, it's fun. All right, it's fun, but you got to watch that video. In order to do the homework, you got to watch the video. Okay, so when you do number 10, if you want to do 11, do 11, and then you can go. Okay, say goodbye, whatever. Really nice job today. I like what I'm seeing on my screen. Okay, hang out after. If you want to do problems and figure it out, we can help you out. I'm going to put Mario on the screen right now too, so you can see what it's like. Okay. Here's Mario. If you're stuck on the quiz, Mario might actually help you. So it's just like the video game where you're like flying through all the levels. If any of you have played the really old Mario Brothers, I don't know. But you got to make Mario like run through the coin, and you have to move the parabola around. And I show you how to do it in the video. But the parabola is too low, so if I make Mario run right now, oops, I don't know what that means. That's not good. Yeah, I can do that, Megan. Oh, shoot. That's the wrong one. Okay. Well, there's the answer. But basically, you're taking the parabola, you're putting it in the right spot so Mario can jump through the coins. All right, and I'll tell you how to do it in the video, but this parabola got moved 7 right and up 6. 7 right, up 6. I had to adjust my A value a little bit. Watch the video, it'll show you how to do it. Megan, hang on, I'm doing that right now. If there's no A value, it just means A is 1. 1 over and 1 up, okay? You do not need to do anything else on the task, just the Mario. Yes, Simon already left. Yeah. Also, if you're still confused, guys, I sent a video of me explaining it. Kind of a lot of stuff that the lady did today. If you want to hear my explanation, it's on your email. You can message me if you want me to check yours. I'll chat back to you. Okay, guys, that is the end of class. You can take off if you want. If any of you guys want to hang out and ask questions or do 1 or 2 more examples, that'd be fine. But have a nice couple days. If you're signing off, make sure to do the Mario. Watch that video with the Mario. It'll be really weird if you don't, okay? Okay, those of you guys that are left, do you guys have any questions at all? Anything you want to do? Yeah, I can. Okay, Ashley, I'm gonna share that on my screen. Can you see it okay? $14? Yeah, is this it? I need to open the chat. Okay, cool, let's graph it. So I'm gonna open this up and I can't look at the numbers at the same time. So can you tell them to me by any chance? Like the first one I'm gonna need to hear is -3, 2. So -3, 2. What's the next one?
The next one is -2, -3.
-2, -3. Okay.
And then -1, -6.
Okay. 0.
0, -7.
Okay. And then I can figure out the other ones. Like this?
Yeah.
Cool. What's the next question? What do they want us to do in the next question?
It said like what ways did the parabola move? And then like what part of the equation indicates the move?
I can't get out of this to see, and I'm marking it up terribly. Okay, so it said how did it move? And then what?
What part of the equation indicates the move?
And does it give you the equation?
It just says write the vertex form of the equation g of x equals a x minus h squared plus k.
Okay. Did you do that?
And that 8. I haven't.
You haven't
I
yet?
tried yesterday.
Well, you probably understand more about it now, but all right. So how many left or right did it move?
0.
0. How many down did it move?
-7.
So would you do +7 or -7?
-7.
Yep. Okay. Now I want to make sure that A is 1. Okay. So if I go 1 over here, do I go 1 up? Yeah, it's 1. So I'm done, but the most professional way to put it is just x squared minus 7. You don't need to write that x minus 0 stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Other questions that were in there or that you had?
That was all my questions.
Really? All right. Well, I hope that helped.
Yeah. Okay,
Cool.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Okay, anybody else got a question? Cameron?